this whole board letter is focusing on is preventing fires. That's the whole thing. We want to prevent fires. We all saw what happened in LA. So preventing fires is the #1 reason for this board letter or this action today. And the reason it costs $0 is all we're doing today, or I'm requesting, is a report back by staff within 90 days as to how we can implement reducing the number of fires coming from homeless encampments. And I realize there's a whole lot of other logistics that have to be worked out, and they're not yet. They're absolutely not. So there's a lot of good questions out there. But say we're trying to punish the homeless. No, I think we have our homeless problem because people can still refuse help. We've got plenty of help to offer. We need more housing, absolutely. But when people can just refuse help and stay on our streets and starting campfires, it's not a good sign on red fire warning days. So as we saw in Los Angeles last month, we got to do everything in our control to prevent fires. And I'm happy to share my sources, but about 50% of the fires in California have been started by homeless in their encampments. Not picking on them, it's just a fact. And this means that 50% of the fires are preventable. And we can do something about it. In January alone, in San Diego, we had 3 fires started by homeless encampments. These fires threatened lives, structures, caused evacuations of nearby schools, a nursing home, and a daycare, and we're lucky the Santa Ana winds weren't blowing. Because if they were, that'd have been a much bigger mess, much bigger threat. So luckily, thanks to the heroic efforts of our first responders, none of those fires became disastrous. So open flames used for cooking and warmth, and I don't want to deny people that, but combined with flammable debris around you and lack of fire prevention measures poses a serious fire hazard. And this risk is not only to the surrounding communities and the people who live near these encampments, but the entire county. So today's action merely directs staff to return to the board to report on options for emergency encampment removals during red flag warnings to prevent fires. And this does raise a question. Where do they go? Where do we put them? So how are you going to manage that? Because we have not fixed homelessness yet. But so I'm asking staff to address housing options, vouchers, potential parking lots, where we can potentially transport people and move them during high fire days. So that's already in the request. So whether or not they come up with an answer within 90 days is yet to be seen. But we all know there's a significant fire risk during red fire warning days. So do we just sit back and wait? Or do we try to do things to prevent that? We know fires often start in the homeless encampments, so I think we have to take action. And I know it's not only in homeless encampments, but if we do know that is a place where they start, we should pay attention. So the motion, I'm going to make a motion to ask the staff to come back within 90 days with a report of if we were to clear these homeless encampments, what would the plan be to make sure we can move these people to someplace safe? And so, again, the primary focus is on preventing fires, and we should do everything within our power to do that. So I'll make a motion to approve the item for staff to come back in 90 days with a report.